Welcome back, y'all, to the Wealth University podcast. Now, it may be called the Elevate podcast soon. We're going to be talking a lot about our companies merging. Really, we're going to be talking about how to break into tech sales and really any remote tech career in 2026. Hopefully, you watched the 2025 video, and hopefully, when you're watching this, you're actually at your setup, maybe making cold calls because you used the info, you took action on it in 2025, and you got hired. But it's okay if you didn't, because we're dropping another one with new info that's going to apply for the 2026 year of how to break into tech. So I'm excited. We got Hustle Trev here.
Yeah, man, we back again. Shows that business is good, right? We're still here.
Facts.
After what, 3-4 years?
I mean, shoot, technically, I feel like we've been doing this 5 years plus Elevate now. They've been doing it for 7 years, but heck yeah, that's definitely part of the game. I mean, maybe we start there, just half the game is staying in the game. So with business, it's a marathon. And it's really, as long as you keep running business and, you don't go out of business, that's half the game. Most people just don't stick around, in these different spaces.
Facts. And speaking of which, I feel like the perfect vehicle to that is, I feel like that's how we got into tech sales. Honestly, we were hungry entrepreneurs.
Facts.
And we had to find a route to make money. Because that's the biggest misconception too. I want to start a business. I want to get entrepreneurship with what capital?
Facts.
You know what I mean? So I literally feel like that's how we even stumbled and got into tech sales or just sales in general. Because it's one of the only skills where you can work from anywhere. Once you got the skill down, the amount of money you can make from a company, you're also in demand because, like you said, sales is really the battery to money,
100%,
capital, all those different things. So I just feel like it's just crazy that years later we're in tech sales, we're getting people remote jobs. You can even talk about some of the people in the community who use tech sales as a foundation, and now they're going crazy with their own.
Yeah, let's start there because 100%, like you said, sales is the lifeblood to any business. If you don't have new money coming in, new revenue coming in, who's going to pay the people to continue working for your business? So on that note, we had one of our top guys, Nico, crazy. His first offer, because as you may know, we give lifetime access to our community, to our school, and we do a full year of applying to 30 jobs every single day for you. The first job he landed from our auto application service was a $35K a year base. Well, he needed it, he took it, and we kept applying. Maybe another month or two, he got another offer. Well, fast forward maybe 6 months in the program, using the Salesforce knowledge we taught him, using the lead generation, the outbound sales skills. Even he learned a little bit about paid ads. And him and I believe his cousin, they both co-founded a business where they're basically transporting dogs, transporting animals around the world for these high net worth individuals. Well, he came on one of our group calls. He's like, Sharif, let's do a giveaway. Spin the wheel. We're giving away $100. And I think we gave away maybe $1,000 on that call. And he was telling us he got his business up to $250,000 a month just using the sales skills that he learned while we were teaching him. How do you interview? How do you confidently sell yourself, sell your skills? And then he picked up the different tech stacks and softwares. And I know all that might sound, complex, but I promise you, if you knew how to take your phone and click on this YouTube video, you know how to use Salesforce, you know how to use these basic softwares and do exactly like he did.
That's facts. And there's a lot of others. Jasper
bailing out baddies. Our guy, Jasper, you can see in the last vlog, hopefully you watched the vlog that we're making today after this, but the last vlog, and really the only other vlog I've dropped on my YouTube channel, you'll see Jasper was there. He was heads down, cranking, working on the computer. And at that time, he was in a tech sales job that we helped him land. He was maybe doing $120,000, maybe $130,000 a year. And literally from trucking. Before that, he was a truck driver. Crazy. So he didn't even have any business making over 6 figures in tech. But because he had the free time of being able to work remote, he started absolutely cranking content. What is he doing, 10 videos a day or something?
Or something yeah, bro, he was locked in.
Locked in. He made us feel like we were lazy. I might put in 12-hour work days. He was putting in 16-hour work days, cranking 10 videos a day. We saw him take his Instagram account from absolutely nowhere I think he's at like 227,000 like followers right now. Literally has one of the top like gambling pages on the internet right now. Crazy, crazy brand deals. Like, I'm not gonna say how much Jasper's making, but I would just, if I were to take a guess, he's probably making a month what he was making in a whole year from his tech sales job.
Yeah, bro.
So shout out to Jasper. Now he's like a digital pimp. It's crazy, bro.
There's so many people, like to Jasper, there's so many people in our program. We got people buying Section 8 property.
Facts.
We got people investing in real estate. So back to like the point is crazy is we got to use this as a foundation. Like tech sales is a foundation to be an entrepreneur. It's not I feel like right now with all the courses, I mean, all those things are great. Even when you break down programs, people love to say courses are scams. The problem is people buy the course and still don't have enough money to actually invest in, he told you to grab Bitcoin at a low. Well, still, the low is still 150. Like, you don't have $1,000.
Facts.
Or even if you're trading options, or even if you're sports betting, right? Everything at this point is a gamble because there's no guarantees in life. Except for life and death. You know what I mean? But
taxes.
Taxes, facts. And, essentially, all those things are like, oh, it's a scam, but it's like, no, you don't have the capital. So I feel like what we're really stretching here is we just talked about a trucker. We got warehouse workers. We have people in life insurance or real estate where they went through the schooling and they have the certificates in the background. But you got to build a book of business. You know what I mean? Like, also trying to sell a home in this market, it's still 100% possible. But when you're in tech sales, you have a base salary, you got life insurance. We got life insurance.
Yeah, some jobs do. You get health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance. Some of them, they do give you. No, honestly, pet insurance, like what, short-term disability. Some give you like that different like little life insurance plan I've even seen. Some take care of your Wi-Fi. Some take care of your phone bill. Some of them will give you like work from home bonuses or stipends to buy new equipment. Some will send you free equipment. And I've even seen some jobs go as far as like they'll give you an additional education like bonus or like stipend. So you literally, one of our guys, he works at one of these top like point of sale payment provider systems, and then they give him anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a year that he could then go spend on additional courses, additional training.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So the upside here is insane.
Oh, the upside 100% is insane. And like you said, it's just a good foundation. It's a good launch pad. It's a good way to have your living expenses taken care of. And then with whatever your passion is, whatever you want to do with your free time, you can turn that into something that will be monetized. But the good part is that whatever it is, it could be, again, if you like making content, you can then take the money you make from your content, the money you make from your business, the money you make from your brand deals, and reinvest that back into the business, because you don't need to use that to pay rent. The rent's already paid for by your tech job.
Yep, that's fire. And in a market where people are getting laid off. I seen last month over 200,000 people lost their jobs, and we secured over probably 10 million in salaries just in the last month or so.
Facts.
Maybe even more.
Facts.
So it's just, one, it's a launch pad, and two, it's a safety net. Right now, it doesn't matter if you like sales or not. It's kind of one of them things where, one, it's the easiest skill to build. Because if you don't like sales, okay, get into AI automation or get into engineering, which takes years. We're talking about a couple weeks and a couple months that we're changing people's lives. So just trying to figure out how, we can merge that gap of people losing all these jobs, because I feel like it's crazy. It kind of feels crazy seeing so many people in a market that can't secure anything, and we're just,
it's sad.
Every day though, new job offer, new job offer.
Every day, every single day in our wins tab in our community, new job offer. Like you mentioned, even Zika, she was a travel nurse. In 2 weeks, we got her to a $70K base salary. Insane. Again, we took a police officer named Roger. In about a month. So if you're a police officer watching this, we're getting all the police officers out the streets, and we're getting you a remote job.
Yeah.
So
and correction officers, CEOs, all of you. You know what I mean? Facts.
Anybody will take you, get you in tech. And the cool thing, again, is, like Trev said, we are building up a system for you to be unemployment proof. Yes, maybe a company might lay off some people, but because we're continuously applying to these 30 new jobs a day, and you're learning sales skills, not only to sell for a company, but to sell yourself. So you can then transition, like Trev said, maybe you want to get into AI product management. Maybe you want to get into cybersecurity. Maybe you want to do engineering. You're still going to have to sell yourself to that company on why they should pay you every 2 weeks. 100% you got to build that skill. And then once you build it once, you literally can interview for the rest of your career forever and, stumble into multiple job offers.
100%. It's part of life. Whether you like it or not, sales is going to be something you either get good at by accident or, you try to get good at on purpose because you know how much it's going to impact you. So, yeah, man. I feel like people need to know a little more about like how Sharif 2D got started because we have videos and we see, I met you young, bro.
Facts on Discord.
On Discord, bro. Like and that's why you can't have limited beliefs. Because a lot of people are like, oh, the course, all these things are scams and all those different things. Like if I had that same mindset and I was in Discord, like, oh, it's just a bunch of people in here, they're all bots, just having a bad mindset, it's crazy that we wouldn't even be here right now. I mean, I'm sure we would still be doing our own thing for sure, but what we actually built, you know what I mean? So one, you have to kill the limited beliefs, I feel like, and really,
Yeah, I could give a little backstory too, because there's probably 3 books that I'll drop to y'all that absolutely changed my whole mindset. It was back in 2020 when the pandemic hit, so now about 5 years ago, and I had failed 2 classes. I was learning computer science. Only reason I wanted to go in computer science was because someone told me I could probably make 6 figures by the end I get my degree. Well, I failed Calculus 2, and I failed like CIS 200. I was going to like University of Michigan, Dearborn. For y'all that are in Michigan, you know about that school. And it's not even like the cool like University of Michigan Ann Arbor. Like I was going to the little small campus. So I dropped out, had my real estate license. So I already had a little bit of sales experience here and there. Real estate, as y'all will know, is commission only. You only get paid at the end of the deal after you do all the work, whether it takes a couple weeks, whether it takes a few months for the deal to close. So while I was doing that, because, a lot of y'all that are in college may be like, well, I'm just going because my parents want me to go, or if I drop out, I don't know what to do, da-da-da-da-da. So because I dropped out, I moved out on my own at 20 years old, had like a studio apartment. It was only $400 a month. So I paid for like the first 6 months up front. So I'm like, look, if I don't make any new money from real estate, at least I got half a year and we'll see where it takes me. Well, I had to work at Amazon overnights, like the 3 a.m. night shift, to be able to pay my bills. So what I did was I listened to audiobooks. I literally had it in my AirPods. It was a couple times I even got written up for having like my hood on, like while I'm trying to pack these trucks in December, like January, with trying to hide my AirPods. But the first book that you need to read or listen to is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Promise you, that book will change your whole mindset around any limiting beliefs or any of like the societal pressures that maybe you have that, whether you know it consciously or subconsciously, is holding you back from what you actually want to do today. So that book is the number one first thing. That's just going to give you space to be able to at least think about new ideas or think about doing different things. Now, the second book is going to be Think and Grow Rich. You have to read Think and Grow Rich. Have to. That alone is going to put in your mind that you can then do anything. So first you got to break the limiting beliefs you have. Then you have to realize that I can create new beliefs of things that I do want to do. And then after you read those 2, the third book is going to be Atomic Habits, because yes, all the rah-rah, manifestation, affirmation stuff is cool, but it's not cool if you don't do anything with it. So then Atomic Habits is what is going to put you in an actionable state to then do things that will get you closer to those goals. So those 3 books, promise you, absolutely changed my life. And then from there, I got in tech, started making content, and then whoop-de-doo, the rest just blew up organically. So, but you got to put yourself in a place to be able to continuously do the work and work on things that are meaningful enough for you to continue working when you don't feel like it. Because there's also going to be huge periods of time, I feel like, on the journey when, like, frankly, the shit sucks. And it's like, you're not going to want to get up. You're not going to want to do the work. You're not going to be making the money you want to make. You're not going to have the connections you want to make. But those are the times where you have to just keep working, because, that's when 5 years from now, I feel like the cool thing is, like, we almost so there's days where we like end up like making money without technically doing any work, or it's like we already had work done.
Yeah.
So it's like even today, like when we were setting up the podcast, you know, we already knew how to set up our mics. And it was something like we didn't even think about. But Zeke, that owns the studio, he was like, oh yeah, you guys are pros. And like that, it just felt good because it's like, oh, we've done this multiple times where, you know, now we could take a sales call, you know, on the fly. We could, you know, just be able to get in the rhythm of doing things. But that comes from doing the work many, 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 many times when the work isn't good. But you just got to do it, you know? Like a perfect video that never gets posted because you're just trying to make it perfect, no one sees it. My video that, you know, is sloppy, but I posted it, that's going to get views, and that's how you get better.
100%, 100%. And I just want people to also understand, like, with you going through that timeline from real estate, Amazon, even just taking the time to read. Like I said, at that age, you were what, 18, 19 or something?
Yeah,
like that,
I dropped out and moved out like maybe a month after I turned 20 years old. So yeah, I was like 19-ish, 20-ish.
And it's like the people who look at our videos and the people who are like, should I get in tech sales? Should I take action? They can look at you at the age you're at right now and how young you are and how you already have stability, how you have a family, how you have all these things in place. I mean, even both of us right now in this economy, you know? So it's like the power of taking action, because at your age, there's people who are 30, 40, 50 who come in the program, or just even younger, who are like, well, I don't know if this is a good fit. Well, I feel like they should just take a look at how you got started and just also take a look at like, wow, if I would have got started now, I mean, you yourself, you probably secured over what? Easily over $500,000 in salary.
Yeah,
500,000 plus. $1 million.
Facts.
Nah, easily probably $1 million.
Probably. Like, I mean, just in the last year, I've had maybe 4 different remote jobs
in
that
the
I've
last year
consecutively like worked them, simultaneously stacking, you know, 2 or 3 jobs at once.
Yep.
That's facts.
So I'm just saying, every time we get on these sales calls, because the cool part is we you know, y'all book a call, you might talk to one of us.
Facts.
You know, I feel like we're one of the only programs where, you know, you see us here and then who am I talking to? And the reason why we do that is because we're not like a lot of other programs. We're a fulfillment first program. You know, we're to the point to where we have real partnerships and real companies in place to where if we submit your information, they're going to pull your application. So we want to make sure we get to meet you because, you know, at the same time, it's a win-win situation. You're going to get hired, but when you do a great job, you open the door for everyone behind you. So
that part, bro. We're putting our reputation on the line, lining you up and giving you an interview at our hiring partners. Like we went through, and I think that's what we touch on too, is there's a lot of, whether it's programs, courses, or even companies. I've been at a lot of tech companies. Promise you, I've never got to meet the CEO, never got to talk to any of the co-founders. But with us, you can actually talk to us. You can see us in the community calls 15 hours a week, where you can literally hit our phones, talk to us, ask us questions. And I think that goes into the next thing, is like the companies that we have merged with on that level, where we've got already 50 different hiring partners, hiring companies. Even if you're out in Arizona, we're hiring right now for, I believe, like 20 people. And the average reps are making $150K. We're paying a base salary of, after taxes, maybe $750 a week. And you get your health benefits, you get the dental, you get all that. So it's like, again, we want to line you up with our partners, with these different companies. You can talk to us, you can ask us questions, because it's on us. We don't want to line you up at this company and then they tell us, you know, hey, yeah, you know, Jimmy Dean, the guy you referred, you know, he showed up late every day. And then, you know, yesterday we called him into the office. He had a 40. He was drinking. He was drunk on the job. Like, bro, we're not going to want to line you up. So y'all got to please be professional, but you have the opportunity to talk to us and learn from us. And, you know, again, we put our reputation on the line to get you paid. So do the same and try and at least show up confidently for us.
Yeah. I mean, and imagine basically if you bought a trading program and they gave you $5,000. Like they gave you $5,000 to blow, right? On top of you entering the program. It doesn't happen. Imagine doing an Airbnb or Turo program and they give you 3 cars right away, or they give you 2 Airbnb properties fully furnished so you didn't have to list it and you didn't have to do anything. It's 100% turnkey. As an entrepreneur, we hear that word turnkey, turnkey, turnkey. This is really the only turnkey thing that you actually can do right now. And this is coming from somebody who, we've had trucking companies. We've done credit repair. We've done Airbnb. We've done e-commerce, like really good numbers per month, probably to the point to where if we would have stuck with even all those things. But again, they were time suckers, and it also cost a ton of money. One bad month with bad inventory, what are you going to do with $10,000 worth of inventory that went out of style?
Facts.
What
That's
are you going to do?
point.
Exactly. Shipping labels. What are you going to do when, you just have errors and now there's lots of little things. What I'm saying is when you look at what we're doing is actually one of the only things I feel like in 2025, everything else works. But I feel like the secret to it that is just everyone forgets to talk about is how much income you need to be generating to actually fund a business. And, I think tech sales also, I feel like it puts you in a place where you don't have to, work super hard to make a good amount of money to where if you blow it in a business, because you're going to lose. Like, first of all, you have to lose. Well, no. Every loss is a lesson. So it's not technically, it's more of a lesson. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is you can kind of peacefully lose money in your business because it's part of the game.
Facts.
Right? And know that, I got a paycheck coming in next weekend, so I'm going to run ads on that. Or I'm going to pay for this, and it's coming out of your tech salary.
Mm-hmm. Especially with ads. I don't know how many times I've started ads with the agency or just you're going to lose at first, but you take that as a lesson. And you mentioned turnkey. Imagine there was a trading course, you automatically get a funded account, or like you said, a B&B where you could just boom, open the door, turn the key, and your B&B is ready. Well, we actually give you the resume. We make the resume for you, and we give you the job, and we apply to 30 new jobs every single day for you. So like this, again, like Trev said, we literally are giving you everything needed to be successful. All you got to do is show up and be confident and keep learning. But I do think we should touch on a little bit more about not only like the company that we're merging with and how that will maybe even give them a better opportunity to get access to our help, and then as well what 26 looks like too.
Yeah. Nah, I feel like the merger is huge because now we're basically giving people all options to succeed, right? People will be like, oh, well, is it focused on tech sales? I kind of have an engineering background. I have a coding background, or I want to scale into those types of, technical positions and stuff like that. And now with this partnership, we can now do that. I feel like we're building in-demand skills, so I feel like that's one of the most important part is a lot of things are outdated, and we're kind of really the forefront of it with cybersecurity, security plus, network plus,
Facts.
CompTIA, all those different things. We're lining people up. But let's say you're like, well, I want to get into it. Sounds good. I've been watching all these other people in social media get into cybersecurity that we've even worked with. And now it's like, well, I'm going to get in tech sales. I'm going to make some money, get some money in my pocket. Boom. Now I got my tech sales screen up. Now I'm studying for the Security Plus. Just knocked that cert out. Now I got that and Security Plus. Now my team is sending out applications. Now you just broke into tech sales, and now you're into cybersecurity, which has happened for people in our program.
Facts, it has. A bunch of people.
But I basically say in that merger with HVAC, we're bringing on electricians, and you're probably like, why blue collar roles? Because at the end of the day, if you are introverted, extroverted, guess what? Oh, you don't want to get in tech sales? Well, guess what? These blue collar roles right now, that's going to be the lasting AI big bag, because it's just, it's a little more work. It's a little more hands-on, but some people love to do that.
And I think the way we do it is different. Like Trev was said, we are, I'd say like you, exactly. We are top of really just, no one's doing it the way we're doing it. For example, with HVAC, we can get you your certifications for HVAC without you stepping foot outside of your house.
Right.
We would send you a pair like the Meta goggles, VR. You literally, as if you were moving and pitting and fixing like a heating, ventilation, air conditioned unit from the comfort of your home, get certified, and we could place you for a job that you're getting paid well over six figures, doing HVAC, doing AI product placement, product management, doing cybersecurity, doing all these different things. So not only do we now have more jobs that we can place you in and get you certified in outside of just tech sales, but being that we're accredited, we can give you access to our program with student loans. Depending on, if you have the worst credit score in the world, I've been there. I've been below 500 credit score, and then Trev with his credit agency boosted my credit score back above 700, helped me get the vet. No matter your credit score, no matter your income, even if you don't have cash today, We could
Man.
still help you. We could still start applying to jobs for you and get you hired for any of these different careers. So we just do it differently. And again, from the comfort of your home, you could be doing this in your pajamas. Doesn't matter.
And just to hit on that, the cool part is because most of the blue collar guys, like you said, the comfort of your home, even when you do get those certificates, HVAC guys, people like to work with their hands. They sometimes lack the interview skills because they're like, come on, man, I want to go ahead. I want to get the tools out. I want to get to work. I don't want to send out applications. So for all those people who want to transition in, all you got to do is focus on honing your skills, and we're going to apply for you. We're going to get you those job offers. You don't have to worry about, and even on the interview process, whether you like it or not, you've probably been interviewing your whole life anyways.
Facts.
So we're going to prepare you for all that, basically taking away any of the responsibilities you feel like, okay, cool. I got on my search. I'm ready to start my HVAC job, but, I got to still put on a suit and tie and go meet the hiring manager first. We basically take that dreadful process, make it easy for you. And like I said, whether you like working with your hands, or you want to get in tech sales and work fully remote, or start doing that first and then transition. It's like that's now the difference with us. Essentially the goal is to become an accredited university. And what's the difference between all the other colleges and stuff like that is the simple fact that we really focus on in-demand skills that's going to get you hired as soon as possible.
Not only the in-demand skills, but you've got the freedom of, like Trev said, say you want to learn HVAC, cool. We're still going to teach you sales. We're still going to teach you how to interview. Maybe, in a couple of years, you want to start your own HVAC company. Well, now not only do you know how to do the hands-on work, so when you hire people under you, you're not getting scammed and they're doing it up to code and they're doing it the right way. But then you also got the tech sales knowledge where, oh yeah, let's set up our sales force. Let's set up our ads. And now you're running the entire business. So I think that goes into the trends that, for 2026. I do think, like you said, the trades, those are going to, they're already booming, but they're just going to keep booming. And then I'd also say with AI taking over layoffs, taking over some of this stuff, we said it on the last one, but it's like the people who use AI the right way are going to be the ones that get paid. So one of the AI gems I'll drop on y'all that we've been setting up all of our students in our community with is called Perplexity. Not only does Perplexity work as if it was like a chat GPT where it will answer your questions, but it's an agent that can control your screen. So for example, one of the prompts, and I shouldn't even tell this to y'all,
Thanks.
you can take that on one of these job boards and say, hey, apply, to
Take
X
notes.
amount of jobs for me.
Take notes.
Literally, your screen turns blue and it starts clicking on the screen, applying the jobs for you. Do with that information what you want. And last thing, if you take action and you watch this before the end of the 2025 year, you have a PayPal account, you can even get a full year of Perplexity Pro absolutely for free. That's not a sponsorship. I'm not getting paid. I'm just telling y'all, do with that information what you want. And yeah, what other trends maybe you think for 2026?
Man, I hope they took notes on that, because
I hope so too.
somebody's literally going to be like, man, I'm still struggling with, you just basically gave them the answers.
Whole
to the
plan.
test. Yeah, literally. So what was it you asked?
I'd say just 2026, maybe what other trends, what advice?
I would definitely say, like I said, I feel like I hit on it earlier, is I want to get out of the courses and these programs or course sellers or scammers. Because honestly, to me, course sellers are risk takers. Mm-hmm. Honestly, even if they did white label something and they have no idea what they did, the fact they marketed hard enough to get you on the phone and buy it, there's still a certain type of creativity and urgency there. And I just feel like we kind of been able to honestly marry both of those worlds.
Facts.
Just because, again, we are a fulfillment first, offer. And I just feel like it's all about mindset. So for me, I played college football, right? And I feel like all college athletes, once they graduate, their identity is too tied up. And especially when we talk about trends, I feel like this is a super strong trend right now still. The fact that we graduate and our identity is so tied up into sports. Well, basically since we were younger anyways, that's part of the game.
Facts.
And then you graduate and then you lose all that skill. So what frustrates me is, I'm going to speak on football players specifically. Whether you go D1, D2, D3, even in high school, if your high school is garbage, being on the football team gives you automatic aura points for whatever
sure.
point. Basketball too, track and field, all those. We all know what sports will do for you, even if you're a complete cornball. And my point is like when you get to college, the levels go a little higher, and all we know is competition. And like essentially in our world where they're in tech sales and things like that, it's essentially almost no competition. So it just confuses me how we don't use that competitive drive, those transferable skills that we've built so many years, and we end up at the security, we end up at the bar, especially if you're a big dude. That's why like I hit those ones because I know what it's like for a football player. I know exactly when I walk into a restaurant, I'm like, oh, you play football. Like that's why you're not a bouncer, because they seen you and like, you know, just being able to lock in on those skills. Even the fact like in college, if you or the regular man, let's talk about the average man, because they talk about 6 figures right now is probably like what, especially under 30, is like less than like 4% or something crazy. Just making 6 figures. But we can distract ourselves. We can send out 100 DMs and shoot our shot at 100 females and follow 100 Instagram models and OnlyFans models, right? And not get a DM or follow back and still wake up the next day and do it again. What if you switch that out and you hit 100 hiring managers? What if you took down your Instagram and got on LinkedIn and you actually reached out to 100 people looking for your skill set? I'm just saying, like, if you just did a little like rewiring. So for me, even in college, it was just so easy for us to be the man on campus and walk around with all this confidence and walk up to a female at Mac and give her all this. It's sales.
Literally,
and then you
same thing on an
graduate
interview.
and you putting the fries in the bag. And I'm not saying that because we're making fun of you or we're like, it's
He's
just
saying it because he's been there.
we've been there. Literally, I've been there. And it would frustrate me how you were trying to be the 1% and go to the NFL or do all these things. And then when life gets super real, all those skills, to me, all that outreach you were doing to females, that's a skill set. That's a transferable skill.
y'all.
Going to the booster clubs and the booster meetings and talking to alumni and carrying yourself in press conferences, having to read a script and knowing what the media is going to ask you and being able to be calm and all those skills.
Same thing as a business owner. Same thing in tech sales. You're just going to use that to have a scripted cold call. And another good tip for y'all, especially if it's like you feel like maybe your identity's tied to something. I know I said 3 books. This is going to be a 4th, and it's called The 4 Agreements. That book alone will just rewire your whole mind around your ego, whether you look at your ego as positive, negative, whatever. Everyone has an ego. Anyone who says they don't is that just they're lying to you. Everyone has it.
Everyone has it.
Well, I'm telling y'all, read that book too. If you have that, and I'm not even going to say it's a problem. It's just more a situation. If you're in that situation, it will just help you rewire and reframe your mindset. Like Trev said, those are all transferable skills where you could still be the top 10% in tech sales. The last tip I'm going to give is cold calling hiring managers. You take a decent script, cold call a hiring manager, and I tell this to our students in my community all the time, is like very few people, it's never any competition. And the few people that actually do cold call a hiring manager, they don't do it anymore because they have too many jobs. They've got too many offers. So there's no competition. I'm telling y'all.
Nah, man. I mean, gems, bro.
Gems.
That's at least, if you just took what you said in this video and didn't work with us, didn't book a call, we're not here to sell anything. And again, matter of fact, yes, we
cap.
are.
I'm about to say that's cap. We're here to sell everything.
Here to sell everything. You know, just because we got to bridge that gap between people losing their roles, people who feel like they have limited beliefs, and, you know, really showing people the vehicle tech and the partnership now. If you don't want to get in tech, if you want to get into, or not sales specifically, the cybersecurity, the HVAC, and I think we're going to add a lot more other disciplines as we, you know, continue to grow. And, you know, last thing I feel like we get hit on is if we would have stayed in those limiting beliefs, we can now show people who took those risks on an online program and go into merging. And I feel like that's going to take us to another level. I think in our community as well, and even at this age, we start businesses without an exit plan, and we start businesses without the mindset of, how can I sell this company one day, or even merge, right? We went from being an online course per se or a program to now having a real curriculum and a company who's already has, you know, the credentials to become a real university, seen what we were teaching and was like, you know what? Let's add that to the menu
No, it's kind of crazy when you put it. We went from literally a side hustle to like corporate being on salaries and like, yeah, equity
and being
business,
able to dress like this and be ourselves.
Yeah, that part.
That's the thing that I feel like when people get into sports, art, rappers, we really love the freedom that they have. We're like, damn, they just get to wake up and put that on
and get paid to do it.
and get paid to do it. You know, so
That's gems.
gems, bro.
That's gems. For y'all that have been tuned into the Wealth University podcast, we always end it off with just talking a little bit about faith and how that is the groundwork and really the framework to be able to do everything. And again, you know, this is whether you have a faith, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whether you don't believe in anything at all. I think having that faith, not only in yourself and also just in believing that things will work out for you if you do the work. So we've said it before, faith without works is dead. You need both. But I guess I'd ask Trev, how do you intertwine and balance everything and still have some type of like central, you know, faith and belief in whether yourself or whatever that may be to, you know, whether it's not get burnt out, whether it's not get overwhelmed? How do you maybe just balance all of that?
I feel like the main thing would be, it's definitely, like you said, using faith as a foundation, just because once things start going quick and you start having a lot of things going on, truthfully, no matter what you believe in, I think the cool part about all these different beliefs and religions is the discipline that I feel like they're trying to teach you through it. You know, I feel like people get too carried away with the actual story and the context, which is very, very important once you start to learn and figure out what you believe in. But if you look at it, it's just discipline. You know, like the book is just trying to tell you, you know what I mean? Don't steal, don't kill, don't cheat. If you avoid all those things, your life would be gold. Lust, to me, it's just discipline. We all struggle with what we struggle. We're not sitting up here saying, oh, we
not
do
perfect
this.
at
We're
all.
not perfect at all. We're far from it. But that's what actually makes us human, I feel like, are the mistakes we make. But just to the point of when it comes to entrepreneurship and using it as a foundation, is that's what you rely on, because the days where you don't want to get up and you don't want to do outreach, you don't want to respond to emails, you don't want to hop on sales calls, even if you had a full day of calls, no one closes, or just playing, like you're training all day for sports and you're that person that, you know, is not getting any recognition, but you work just as hard as everyone else. I've been there. I've been that guy. You know, I would be first to team meetings, last to leave, first to weights, last to leave. And I feel like I could never get the recognition and all those things. But if you look at a lot of things in the Bible, a lot of people who do the right things day in and day out don't get the recognition.
That's facts.
You know what I mean?
Especially like Noah, for example. He built an ark. It never, ever, ever, ever rained. Ever. People were looking at him like he was crazy, looking at him like he was stupid. But it's, like you said, the discipline to have a big goal and stay dedicated to that big goal. Because exactly, you're not going to feel motivated majority of the time. And you shouldn't even, in a sense, want to feel motivated, because what happens when you don't have the motivation? You got to have that discipline. And it's just, like you said, the awareness and having, you know, good frameworks of things that you don't do, like morals that you don't cross. And that will then, I believe, bring you around other like-minded people.
Yeah. You know what? And just to even just hit on that, because I feel like we're talking about, you know, spirituality, but also character. I feel like character is going to take you further than any talent, any, you know, popularity, all of those different things. And I feel like that's another thing that I feel like we also miss. You know, way before the money comes, way before the success comes, it's like when you weren't looking, you know, was I trying to take clothes off your back, or was I trying to, you know, help put clothes on your back? There's two different things. And I feel like when you put that energy out into the universe, again, in the Bible, there was times where they would talk about where if you went poor or I went poor, you would buy my land, right? And then you would sell it back to me for the price or lower. See what I mean? Like, we live in the complete opposite now.
Facts.
Where we want to buy something as low as possible. We want to go finesse grandma wholesalers out of their crib and then go
Yeah,
put
facts.
$100,000
AI,
connection fee on
drop
top
shippers.
of it. Yeah, you know. So
yeah.
I just feel like if we just get back to that and answering your question of how all those things, you know, combine. If you align like way before all those things happen, it's about being a good person.
I love that.
You know, so
that low key loops us all the way in back to what we started with is the character aspect. And we talked about how this is a long-term game. It's a marathon. And the easiest way to be able to continuously be successful and at least stick around in business, life, whatever, is if you don't have to, you know, be fake or act or be something you're not, but you're just you and you have good character. And I feel like you said, you're going to bring people around. If you have people that you're the type of person that you would help them in a tough situation, you're going to bring people around who would help you in a tough situation.
And stay away from it. Stay away from low character energy. You know, bring your girl around and see how your homie's going to respond.
Facts.
I can't even pitch. I don't even know what we don't hug. We don't,
Facts.
you know,
Facts.
text them, see what they're, none of those weird things. I'm just saying, well, there's things that you got to do. So even as a person, if you want to have high character, surround yourself with high character people.
Facts.
You know, use those tests, find those frequencies and see those little things people are doing. When you mention $1 million, if every time we mention the plan, we're like, bro, let's do it.
No,
let's run it, bro. It's about
it.
to get, if they even whisper like, oh man, I don't know if that's possible, cut them off. Oh man, I don't know if we should cut them off.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
If you can't trust your homie around your girl, and like, why would you want to trust them with money? Trust them with your business. Trust them with your whole livelihood.
1,000%. 1,000%. Like, just all those things you see, we're talking about just little principles that seem really, really small that turn into big
Facts.
things down the road.
Facts.
You know, so.
It's in the little details, y'all. 100%.
For sure.
Yeah, this was fire.
This was fire.
Definitely, y'all. Subscribe. We're going to have more content dropping very, very soon. Comment. Maybe we'll do a giveaway in the comments, you know, what your favorite takeaway is or what book you like the most, or if you've read one, anything we talked about, drop a comment. We'll choose a top comment. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Follow
Like,
us on
comment,
the gram.
share, subscribe, put it everywhere. I know you know somebody who don't have a remote job. I know you know somebody who's struggling in a 9 to 5. And you also know somebody who's dealing with limited beliefs. You know, come to our page and learn a little bit of everything, man.
Heck yeah. That's
Try
fire.
to relate with the world, bro.
That's fire.
For sure.
I love it. Peace, y'all.
Get it.